So let's continue solving the MEXT exam 2013 Math B, okay? Question 1.4. Now, this is the question. Let A and B be rational numbers. If this all things over here equal to that, then he wants the value of A and B. So, if you want to try to solve it, go ahead. I'm going to give two more tips, and then if you want to try to solve it again, and then I'm going to solve it, okay? So let's go to the first tip. So you need to remember that if you have like a minus b multiplied by a plus b, how will this end? It will end with a squared minus b squared. If you never seen this, just do it normal way, okay? A versus a will be a squared, a versus b will be ab, and then b minus b versus a will be minus b versus a, so it will cancel, and minus b versus b, it will be minus b squared, and you will only have a and minus b squared, okay? So whenever you have a number minus another, not just number, okay, multiplied by the same thing that we're calling A plus the same thing that we're calling B, you will end up having this, okay? So this is the first one, and there's another thing that I need to talk about. Uh, 1 second. So, what was this instead? Yes. So the second thing is, okay. The second thing is to remember this rule: a plus b squared. Okay, so a plus b squared, how will it end? So if you never done what if you have never done this, you just do it normal, okay? A plus b versus a plus b. But we need time for this exam, right? So you need to remember this. A plus b is what? Is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, right? This is the second thing that you need to remember. If you don't know this one, just do a versus a, and then, but you need to remember, if you didn't know it until now, you need to do examples that use this one, because it will help you during the exam to gain some time. Okay, so we have this formula, and remember the other one. Last time I'm going to do it: a plus b versus a minus b is equal to a squared minus not plus, okay, minus b squared. Whenever you forget it, just do it normal, okay? But you shouldn't forget it. So now let's go to our page with the question. Now look down. We have, let me write it, plus, this is 3, and this. You see how the part down and up in this thing is really similar. It is really, really similar. And we even have something minus another. So try to think about it. Try to solve it using the two tips that, three tips that I gave you, that this is really similar, and the other two, okay? And so now I'm going to solve it. The way is that we're going to multiply it by the square root of 3 plus square root of 2 and divide by the same thing, square root of 3 plus the square root of 2. Can I do this? Yes, I'm just multiplying by 1, right? Square root of 3 divided by square root of 2, square root of 3 plus square root of 2 divided by square root of 3 plus square root of 2. This is 1. But how does this help me? Well, using the tips now, right? So, square root of 3 plus square root of 2 multiplied by this part, remember? A minus b, a plus b. So we will have down square root of 3 squared. So it will be only 3 minus square root of 2 squared. So it will be 2. And now we have only 3 minus 2. It will be 1 down here. So we got rid of everything over here. And we have square root of 3 over here. Square root of 3 plus 2 to the third power multiplied by square root of 3 plus 2. This is the same thing as this one. So we can say that this is square root of 3 plus square root of 2 to the fourth power. Okay? And how do we go further than this? So the way is by using the second tip. Now this part over here will be just divided by 1, right? This part over here, 3 minus 2 is just divided by 1, so we got rid of it. So we'll have square root of 3 plus 2 plus square root of 2 to the fourth power. Well, how can we write this so that we can use the second tip? Well, the second tip was, let me go down. It's better over here. So how I'm going to do it is square root of 3 plus square root of 2 to the second power. You can do it straight with the fourth power, okay? It's just so that it can be simple to everyone. If you know the fourth power rule, just go ahead. This is a 2 squared. What did I do? I just took the fourth power and I took to the second power multiplied by to the second power. If you multiply it will be for the fourth power. I just did this because we know the rule for this one. It will be a squared, which a now is the square root of 3. Squared will be 3 plus 2 versus a versus b. If you can't go on with this, go back in the video and see the tip number 2, okay? So square root of a versus b, 2 versus 6, 2 versus 3 is 6, plus square root the b squared will be 2, okay? So, and this is going to be the same thing, right? So 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 2 is square of 6. And this part over here, if you open it, it is going to be the same thing as this one, right? So I'm going to say that this is squared, okay? So this one squared. Now what we're going to have? Well, the same rule again. This is why it is helpful for you to remember it. 5 squared is 25 plus 2 versus a versus b, 4 versus 5, it's 20. I'm doing this number multiplication fast because you need to do them by yourself, okay, in a sheet of paper or something like this. The focus of solving it is to give you the idea, plus the square root of the other part. Well, 4 versus 6, 24. So 24 plus 25 is 49, plus 20 square root of x. Now I don't know if you forgot the question, but he was saying that I think I can get the question again, but I don't think I need to. You probably have it, right? Or go back in the video. So he was telling us that this is equals to, let me look over here, a plus b square root of 6. So you see that there is the the part that are identical in this, that like all we did was make the part that he gave us, that was like square root of 3 plus square root of 2 to the third power, we made it simpler so that we can compare them. So a is equal to the part without the square root of x, which is 49, and b is the number that is multiplying the square root of 6, right? So it is 20. So the value of a is 49 and the value of b is 20. Okay, so just remembering, we have, you need to remember this part over here, this simple rule over here. You can prove it just by multiplying alone, and this one over here, this one I think it might be a bit more difficult to remember, but it is the same thing you to prove it. So you just go multiplying the same way you do with the other things, and you will prove this one, and by doing a lot you will remember it. Okay, so I don't know if I lost the answer. Yeah, this is our answer, 49 and 20 for a and for b. Okay, so yeah, see ya.